When you become aware of your own patterns of fixation, something special occurs. You can come to see that ego is merely a pattern. It's mechanical and it's not your real self. By recognizing this, you can allow this identification to begin to dissolve, soften, dissolve and transcend, because you're choosing no longer to fuel it with your participation. This is how it can begin to dissolve your narratives, your stories, and essentially help you to come closer and closer to your boundless essence of being. No longer being confined of what you believe yourself to be. So you allow your natural self to start coming true, because you're no longer participating in the smaller self narrative. So being free from imagining yourself as something you are not, you will begin to recognize your own self in the larger extent, your big self everywhere, in everyone. And by meeting this transcendent self, which is the goal of self-realization, you become the ever-present, silent embodiment of contentment, happiness, love, or any other qualities that are more natural to your sahaja self, your full natural consciousness. Enneagram is important part of our teacher training course, and we use it to assist you on your self-realization path. Typically what happens is that when you open up to full consciousness, there is still a process continuing of integration, allowing your natural self to start coming through more and more, because when you open your full consciousness, you just gained access. And then your natural self needs time to put things into practice. So we usually say that a good year is needed to get a better and better sense of your natural self. And during this process, it is important to keep reflecting on Enneagram and keep digging deeper into it so that you uncover your level of development of personality, character, psychology. What happens with those who do not pay attention to this pole of being, when they open to higher states of consciousness, they merge their attention with those higher fields of consciousness. Interestingly, they become suddenly very ignorant as well, because they start to negate everything. They start to negate present life. They start to negate their own self, their own body. They even say that personality doesn't even exist, or nothing even exists at all, and there is only some light that they have merged their attention into. Well, this may work for a little while, but life will keep splashing in their face left and right. And this happens very, very often. And if you take it, this negated and enlightened ignorance, if you then expand it into your community, if you become a spiritual teacher, especially in a non-dual tradition, and you haven't really worked on your personality stuff, as they say, all the skeletons in the closet start coming out. So everything that has been buried, ignored, neglected, And typically the teacher would even deny that they have these qualities. I've seen many. But then in the community, it all manifests. It all comes forward. And a lot of mess comes out in that way. So this is why the whole of Enneagram is essential on the path of self-realization. If self-realization is done with Enneagram, at least some balance is kept. The table already has 2 legs, not 4 yet, but at least 2. So there is more integration, more balance. However, as we know, there is also karma, which functions way deeper than your personality, character, or your psyche. Karma has much, much deeper roots, and the soul and spirit liberation is much more complex work that also needs to be done. This is how, by working on the 4 poles of being, everything moves in balance. Everything balances together and creates the real liberation, a balanced, integrated, grounded liberation. Not a fantasy world, not a certain immersion into something and being dysfunctional. These are the side effects, typically, if one is dysfunctional, lost somewhere, or full of denials and hidden corners, resistances, avoidances, or non-dual excuses, then it means that there is much more work to be done. Therefore, the higher degree teachers, gurus, sadgurus, they're very grounded usually. Well, what means to be present here and now? Well, you are truly present here and now. You're very grounded, very real. So real that you're even too real. But at the same time, it's not the realness of society or the collective conditioning. It is the realness of reality and life and bliss and the divine and the human nature. All of it. All together. Everything at every degree, density, region of cosmology. All of that comes together. And this is why very beautifully there are many true and beautiful examples of truly integrated beings such as Meher Baba and Kirpal Singh and many others who have realized the true nature of God Supreme, but also have been extremely grounded and present and real. And of course, one of the ultimate examples in the human history are Jesus. He was very present, as in the story of bashing the market at the church. And Buddha as well, in his meetings of certain people who were angry at him or judged him and so on. Even more so at a deeper level, it was the life example of Kabir, Sant Kabir Das, who have come to earth to share a sacred gift of Shabd, the divine light and sound stream. He came during a very difficult period where Hinduism became as a strict caste system and Muslims were very harsh, and he was right in the middle of religious conflict and straightening both sides. And his life was the example of that.